Yes, guys, welcome to Pure Coys TV. On today's show, I am going to be talking about our very own Lucas Bergvall, and whether I think he could be our Roy of the Rovers. Before I get into it, guys, please do me an absolute solid. Please like the stream, please subscribe to the channel, and please press the bell notification as well so you know what all of my content is about to drop. It is totally free, and if you're feeling extra nice, hit that hype button as well because apparently it helps small channels grow. So any help would be much appreciated. Let's get into today's video, and it is regarding this man. Yes, that's right, Lucas Bergvall, a player that I think could really have a breakout season for Tottenham Hotspur this season. Now, many people will say he had a breakout season last season, and maybe to a point he did, but I think this season we are going to see a better, a stronger, a more physical, a more mature Lucas Bergvall in a Spurs shirt. Now, let's be honest, last season was horrific, absolutely horrific for injuries as well as form. Must have been really difficult rocking up on a Saturday or Sunday when the team was playing so poor, when the team was devoid, just had so many injuries. And as a young player being thrust into that first team, like Gray and like Bergvall was, it must have been really difficult. But unlike Gray, Bergvall seemed to relish it, seemed to enjoy playing under pressure. Listen, he made mistakes. Of course he did. He was 18 years old. He's only 19 now. He made mistakes. He had poor games, but he had some really good games and really good moments. And it made you look and think there is definitely a player in now. So maybe the injuries we had last season and thrusting Bergvall into that side, maybe it's helped him to start to become the player he is going to become. And this season we will see the benefits of it. I think personally he could become our very own Roy of the Rovers. Anyone of a certain age, kind of my age, will remember Roy of the Rovers. If you didn't have a Roy of the Rovers annual when you were a kid, then you didn't like football. Roy of the Rovers was fantastic. Of course, I think it was Manchester, wasn't it? Manchester Rovers he played for. They played in like all red with a yellow stripe, or it just differed from annual to annual. Sometimes it'd be yellow through the middle, sometimes it'd be yellow on the sleeves. But yeah, Manchester Rovers, every kid wanted to play alongside Roy of the Rovers, and me included, quite often drew myself into those comic strips, setting up Roy for the winners. And I think Lucas Bergvall, with that flash mop of blonde hair, could become our very own Roy of the Rovers. Now, am I being too much? Am I being over dramatic? Maybe. But listen, hey, if we can't be positive about a player, what is the point? I'm excited by this kid. I think he could become a top talent. In fact, I think he could become one of the best players in Europe if he is coached right. And why I'm so excited is because Thomas Frank is that coach. He is that man who can bring the best out of Lucas Bergvall. Already this season, in the few games that he's played, I have seen Bergvall that looks taller for some reason. He looks bigger than he did last season. He looks stronger. He looks like he's filled out. His vision looks to be better. He's already scored a great goal. He dominated the midfield against West Ham for the most part. Yes, they did go down to 10 men in the second half. But Bergvall, I thought, was fantastic. For a young player, he never shirks away from showing for the ball. He always wants it. He's always looking to get Spurs moving. He's always looking forward. He never just wants to play back. He's always looking to do something, to make something happen. And surely, as Spurs fans, this is exactly what we want in a player, isn't it? Someone who's willing to drive with that ball to make things happen. Now, it's not always going to work. Sometimes he will give that ball away. Sometimes he will run into blind alleys. Sometimes he will beat the first man and the second man, and you want him to pass it, and he will try and take on a third man and lose it. But there is no doubt there is a real talent there. And under Thomas Frank, I am so confident that he is going to be an absolute superstar. Guys, drop a comment in. Let me know how you're feeling about Lucas Bergvall, because for me, I'm excited by him. And I'll be the first to admit, this season I was looking at the midfield three, and it was very much Polinia, Bentancur, and a number 10. We finally got that number 10. Of course, in Xavi Simons. Whether he's playing now or not is another question at the moment. But we have him now. Lucas Bergvall was a player that I thought might get the odd game. But from what I've seen in these couple of games that he's played, the West Ham game, even the Villarreal game where he set up the winner, albeit from a keeper error, he was still the man who put the ball into the box. And he still did some good things against Villarreal as well. But what I've seen, I'm starting to think that for me, Bergvall needs to be in that midfield somewhere, whether that's with alongside a Polinia, which I would love, and then have Xavi Simons in the 10, or every now and again, maybe try and Bergvall as a 10. I'd be more than happy to see that too. I think we're in for a breakout season from Bergvall. I think he has everything to become one of the best players in Europe. Guys, am I being too much? There is no doubt if Frank plays him right, if he plays him right, and he's going to have to listen, he's a young player, so he's going to have to bring him in for a couple of games and then he's going to have to take him out of the firing line for a bit. If his form drops, get him out for 2 or 3 games, ease him back in again. He is still a teenager, he needs to develop. But from what I'm seeing, I honestly think Frank is going to turn him into a superstar. Guys, I will leave it there. Drop a comment in. Let me know if you think I'm being deluded. It's all good. Let me know if you agree with me. Smash that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's get on the Bergvall train. Have a great day. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay pure coys.